Here we go, ready? Split, to the side, setting, hopping. Immediately back, splitting, getting really wide. Oh, it feels amazing. Here, set, all the way back. What is going on, world-class athletes? Grant Vanderheyden, and in today's video, we're gonna be doing an indoor footwork training session where you're gonna learn the 3 primary skills you must master to develop that world-class level of footwork. And with each one of these skills, you're gonna get a specific drill that you can implement and follow along in real time to instantly start leveling up that footwork. And the next time you hit the court, start moving gracefully, all with the least amount of effort. Now, before we jump into the 3 drills and skills, you're gonna learn the footwork foundation of exactly how to use your muscles and how to land that optimal split step to immediately get that world-class footwork. So let's jump right in. The foundation and starting point of every single shot happens with that split step. Now, there are a few circumstances where there isn't a split step, but on the vast majority of shots, you're gonna wanna land that split step. So a few key fundamentals that you can look for when you're perfecting your split step. Number 1, with your stance, you wanna make sure that your stance is at least shoulder width or more apart. This is gonna allow you to get into that athletic, low position, and it's also gonna allow you to spring and make those quick adjustment steps by having that wide and low position. The second checkpoint to look for is when you land your split, you wanna be on the balls of your feet, just like that. This is gonna give you the maximum leverage from the legs to drive off and push in direction, and also allow you to tap in to those big calf muscles. The third and final checkpoint is when you land your split step, you wanna make sure that you're maintaining the lordotic or inward curvature of the lower spine right there. This is gonna allow you to access the posterior chain, which is gonna make you spring side to side, reducing pain, increasing your speed, and also preventing the chance to create injury. So a quick recap of those 3 checkpoints. You're gonna split, wide stance, balls of the feet, lower curvature of the spine. You achieve those checkpoints, you're ready for that world-class footwork and movement. So now that you have this base set up, let's jump into skill number 1, hopping. The first and most common skill used on the Pro Tour is what's known as multi-directional hopping, which looks something like this. Hopping off either foot, either in a defensive or an offensive or a neutral situation. Before we jump into the drills, I wanna share with you guys a story. So when I was serving one day, I reached up and I ripped the shot, and I felt this tear, this really horrible feeling in my lower back. And I was like, oh my God, what just happened? I woke up the next day, oh my goodness, I couldn't even get out of bed. It was so painful, and I tried doing my morning routine, and it was a complete disaster. I started getting depressed, like, oh my God, this pain sucks. And it lasted for like a whole week until it went away. And I was like, okay, well, maybe that's just a once in a lifetime thing. Then a few months down the road, the same exact thing happened, and I was out for another week. And I was like, this cannot happen again. So what I did was I researched this book called Foundation. And in this book, I realized that the key to maintaining speed, flexibility, and also longevity to not get injured is to strengthen what's known as the posterior chain. These are all the muscles that comprise and stabilize that lower spine region. This is the most common source of back pain. If you've ever had a back pain before, you know how bad it can be. So one exercise that I use every single morning, and we're gonna warm up with, is known as the foundation method. So essentially it's gonna look something like this. You're gonna get into a wide stance, just like this, about shoulder width. Then you're gonna go ahead and execute a slight squatting position. From here, you're gonna go ahead and take your hands and place them about in line with your hips, just like that. And as you execute this exercise, you'll feel the muscles of your lower back start flexing and activating, warming them up. I do this for about 3 minutes, then I'm doing deep breath, then I come up with the hands raised directly above my head, keeping this lower spine stabilized, the hands up, looking ahead, then I drop like that, stretch out that lower back, come up, stretch the hamstrings, and then lastly, bend back in, hands there, hands back, here, and then back up. I'm telling you, I've done that every single morning. I've been pain free. And that's also gonna strengthen the key muscles associated with the split step. So as we've done that exercise, our body's now warmed up, we're ready to go. So in this first drill and exercise, we're gonna be learning the lateral hop. This is the most common move hit on the pro forehand side. And the way you're gonna execute it is just like this. So out of your split step, you can use a racket. I'm just gonna be using my hands. Out of your split step, you're gonna land that nice wide split. Then you're gonna execute a uniturn pivot, one step to the side. From this position, you're gonna be in a semi-open stance. And what you wanna focus on here is shifting the weight, driving the leg, rotating the hips, pulling the arm forward and extending out, and then landing on the right. Then immediately, if you're far, doing a cross. If you're close to the center, after you execute that shot, your recovery can just look like this. Immediately back, just like that. So all together, one more time, slow motion, split, one step out, drive off that right, then either a shuffle back in, or if you're more distance, like out here, it would be a shuffle or a crossover and then a split, just like that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and execute this move on both the forehand and the backhand side. Feeling really loose, emphasizing using that posterior chain musculature. So let's jump right in. Here we go. So split out to the side, hopping off that right back, split on the backhand side, hop, recover back, split, and hop. Just like that, recovering, split, hopping, nice, split, here you go, push yourself, yes, timing the split, hopping off that left recovery split, yes, feeling graceful, that's it. Yes. Recovering back and then splitting. All right, so now with those hop moves mastered, let's go ahead and jump right in to the second skill, which is known as pivoting. All right, world-class athletes, now that you've mastered multi-directional hopping, we're gonna learn the second crucial skill you must master to getting world-class footwork, which is gonna be pivoting, just like that. On the backhand side, the most common move you'll see hit on the men's pro tour and the women's is on the backhand, you're gonna get into a closed stance, and then from that position, you're gonna pivot around and finish with either that left leg fully rotating or just taking a smaller pivot like that. The reason why this move is so powerful on the backhand is because it allows you to getting in a very closed position of the trunk, which allows you to utilize those back muscles really effectively and allow you to get the maximum forward weight transfer into contact. And also from this position, you're in a prime location from here to immediately be able to recover and then split back to that perfect core position in the center. So in this exercise, we're gonna be focusing on an aggressive footwork pattern where you're gonna do two key moves. Number one, you're gonna land a split. You're gonna move neutrally parallel across the baseline with either shuffle steps like that or splitting and doing a hop step, which you'll see a lot of awesome variation on the pro tour. But from that position, split, you're gonna get set into this closed stance. From this position, your main focal point is shifting the weight forward, rotating around, pivoting, finishing like that, recovering back, splitting. From here, we're gonna step in aggressively into a neutral stance on the forehand, shift that weight forward, pivot back around, and then immediately back for a split. So let's jump right into the drills. So out of that split, immediate closed stance, pivot, back in, split, then neutral, pivot around just like that. Immediately back, split, closed stance, really feel it, wide split in, pivot just like that, all the way back, split. Visualize you're already playing pro tennis, that's the key. Let's go, all the way back, split. So good, feeling amazing, feeling graceful. Good, rotate around, all the way back, split. Get in that closed stance, all the way back, split, in. Let's push it, 5 more, split. Here we go, wide split, in. Good, pivot around, that's it. And then in, yes, so good. So one thing, I studied Kobe Bryant, and he was one of the only players as a part of his consistent practice regimen. He'd be in the gym with the lights off, his eyes closed, pretending to play basketball. And scientific studies have actually shown that by you visualizing yourself playing at that world-class level, you'll improve at or just very small below the actual rate of improvement that you would get actually being on the court and practicing. So implement, follow these along, you're gonna get that significant growth. All right, so let's close it out with the third and final skill, which is my favorite, transfer. All right, world-class athletes, you've got that hop down, you've got that pivot down. We're now gonna close with my favorite, most satisfying footwork pattern, which is known as transferring. Now you can transfer in two primary directions. You can either, if the ball's short and aggressive, you'll split, move in, and then transfer forward, or if you're in a more defensive position, you'll see here, out of the split, you can set up and transfer to the side. The primary difference between the forward and the lateral transfer is the direction of your momentum, which is indicated by the right leg kicking back. A lot of coaches and players think that the right leg is a deliberate action. However, it's actually a passive action. It's a balancing mechanism of the human body. If you lean forward, you naturally want to balance yourself out by creating a counterweight, giving your center of gravity that midline right there. So what we're going to focus on here is in this sequence, we're going to execute a wide split. Then we're gonna take a karaoke step back, which is gonna rotate those hips, orienting our trunk and our torso to explode from that position. So we're gonna split, unit turn karaoke step, adjust, lateral transfer, recover back, split, then forward transfer, and then volley close, just like that, recovering back. And then stay to the end because we're gonna do an amazing sliding exercise that I'm really excited for. So let's jump right into this exercise. Ready? All right, so remember, this is very aggressive, so the key is that maximum intensity. Ready? Let's get it. Super wide aggressive split. Good, karaoke step, lateral. Good, back end split. Aggressive forward, in, close with that volley. All the way back, let's get it. Here we go. Split, karaoke, lateral transfer, back end, split, forward transfer, close out that volley. Let's go. Nice, wide split, karaoke. Here, to the side, graceful, split, forward, volley close. Man, it's feeling good. Love tennis. Here we go. Here, set, lateral, all the way back in, split, forward transfer, close it out. That's right, let's go, push yourself. Two more. Wide split, set, lateral transfer, back in, split, forward transfer, in, volley close. Let's go, last set, wide split, lateral to the side, massive spin, set up, forward transfer, volley close. All right, so with all these exercises, you've now mastered the three primary skills of world-class footwork. Let's close it out. I know you guys have been commenting, learning about how to slide, so let's jump right into those drills. Perhaps the highest echelons of modern footwork is the ability to slide in defensive situations. The benefits of sliding is it allows you to be moving at full speed, and instead of taking adjustment steps, you can rather just slide into the ball, explode off, and then recover back. So what we're gonna be doing is practicing the lateral hop variation you learned at the beginning, but now incorporating awesome slides. I'm getting out of breath here, as you can tell. So an amazing exercise that you can use to improve and increase your intuition of how to slide is to start without shoes. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lose these shoes, and you'll see you can do this in your house if you have hardwood floors or wet grass with shoes on. It's totally up to you. But from this position, our main focal point is out of our split, we're gonna take one step on the left leg, a cross step, and after we take that cross step, we're gonna split, cross step, and then step right in on that right. So you can see I did a little slide there. Back end, split, same thing on the back end, slide, pushing off. So all together in slow motion, it's gonna look like this. Split, cross, stepping, sliding, hopping, cross back, split, stepping, sliding, hopping, cross back, split. Then we'll incorporate it with larger variations. Let's jump right into this first drill. All right, key here, high intensity, maintaining that lower spine posture and staying low to the ground. We're really having fun with this sliding exercise. Here we go, ready? Split to the side, setting, hopping. Immediately back, splitting, getting really wide. Oh, it feels amazing. Here, set, all the way back to the side, in, ready, defensive slice. all the way back. Oh, lob. Just like that, I love it. All the way back, split, ready, sliding in, and hopping. All right, world-class athletes, now you've got this footwork mastered. If you're ready to take this on the court, click here, or if you wanna master the Djokovic two-handed backhand, click here. I'll see you on the next video. Let's go!